Hello, this is Ahmed, and this is the third video in our Visual Basic.NET course for A-level students. So as you can see here, we are going to teach you what is the difference between write line and write commands for actually printing text to the screen. So at the moment, we defined a variable that's called name of a string data type. And this is only a declaration. We did not assign it anything. We didn't put any value inside the variable space reserved in the RAM for the variable name. So what we did here, we use console.writeLine. So .writeLine command actually will print this text, and after it printed out, it will like it press a courage return, or it will add a new line after this text is printed. The effect of this, it means that any print or console print statement, or like console.write here, so this hello will be printed in a new line, not in the same line like hello, what is your name? Okay, so what we're going to see here also is that we are going to read an input, or an input from the user, and that input will not be only a single text. It can be a whole line that we're going to read, and we're going to store what we read from user input into a variable called name. So typically the user input is keyed in from inside the keyboard, and it will appear here like what we can see. Okay, so we will wait for the user to input something to us, and then based on that we will continue executing. So this console.readLine will actually its effect that it will halt the execution of the program, waiting for the user to input something. If the user does not input anything, so the execution of these two lines will be actually prevented or delayed, okay? Or even it will not execute at all, okay? So after the user saves something inside the name, or key in some text on the keyboard, and it is saved inside name, we will print hello, and then we will print on a new line. So this write line actually will print the name that the user key in actually on the same line like hello. So it will be, you enter your name, so it will say hello, and that is your name. Okay, so whatever name you put, it will print it at the same line like the hello. But why we see here write line? Because actually after you print out hello and the name that you gave to the you key in the keyboard, so we don't want anything to be printed after that. So we want anything to be that can be printed later. We want it to be printed on a new line. That's why we said write line here. Okay, and we didn't use write line in this case because actually what we wanted that after we say hello, we print the name exactly after it, and not on a new line. So if you can see here, I try to run like that. So can you see that the code is actually halted? It does not print anything, and it's still running, waiting for my input. So I write chemo. Okay, and I didn't press enter yet. Once I press enter, so you see what is done after I press enter. So these two lines get executed, and it will print hello first, and at the same line it will print the same input that I already gave to the program here, and it was saved inside name. And then if I try to print anything afterwards, it will be actually printed on a new line, not on the hello chemo line anymore. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. And okay, if you have any question of or if there is something that is not clear to you, I would urge you to actually write in the comment section what actually was not clear. And if I am explaining in a fast pace or a slow pace, or if you want me to slow down or to actually do something a bit faster than this. Okay, so at the moment, let us try to take something else. We talk about here, we want to try actually the concatenation code. So the concatenation here, as you can see from here, okay, so you can see the code here. What we did is that we actually declare two variables, name and grade, one as a string and one another as an integer. And then we ask the user, we print something to the user using a WriteLine. And we use WriteLine here because we want the user to feel that that he need to enter something on the screen, and he will need to do it on a new line. So if I press enter here, if you be able to see, so enter a new enter your name here. Okay, so can you see that actually the command prompt here, the cursor, it actually came in this place, not here anymore. It doesn't remain here because what? Because of I used here WriteLine. So if I use write, so the cursor will remain here. Okay, so we want to indicate to the user that he actually need to enter something, and then after he enter his name, and it is saved inside the name variable. So we will go to WriteLine, means that we print something again to the screen, which is enter your grade. And we expect the user to key in his grade. Okay, and the new thing that we would like to actually learn here, that there is two keywords that we are able to use. So this actually is this ampersand. So this ampersand is able to concatenate a variable to a certain text. So if you can remember from the code that we write before, we write hello, and we print it in a separate print statement, which is Console.Write actually. Okay, and then on the second, we printed the variable name. So we do not want this all the time because that will consume time from us. So what we are trying to learn today, that we are actually able to grab variables or data from variables, and we are able to concatenate it. We are able to add it to a fixed text. So here, this is just a text that we want to print, and we want to print the content of the variable name and variable grade all at the same time or same line using one print statement here, which is WriteLine. So we do not want to create 2 or 3 write statements, one for the name and one for this string and another for the grade. We just want to use all at the same line. So we are able to use ampersand, and we are also able to use plus for this exact purpose. So we will try now the one with ampersand, and we will test also the one with plus. So I say chemo, okay, and if I want to enter the grade, so it's 100, for example. So chemo's grade is 100. So that is actually the two variables printed together with the text here. So if I remove this ampersand, I put plus. Let us see if that really works as we should expect here. So, okay, we enter. Okay, chemo, and then we put 100. Okay, so to resume what we was talking about, we try to replace the ampersand with a plus sign here. Okay, and to get it to work, actually, instead of the ampersand, we would like to actually make everything here, this as a string and this as a string, and this grade, which is an integer value, okay, or variable. So we would like also to make it as a string. So that's why we use a method which is .ToString, and this method will actually convert the variable of type data type integer to a string. If not, if we didn't do that, we will end up with having an error like we have seen. So that because of the VP will actually try to add this and this as if it is an arithmetic operation, and that's because the grade initially is of a data type integer. So of course, and this is totally a string, so we are not able to actually add both. So you have now two choices. So you either use the plus sign if only both sides here, A and B, are both actually strings. So that will result in A, B as a concatenated string. Or if you would like to actually put variables in this way, make sure that all of them is strings. If not, then you do a conversion like that. Okay, so that is how actually it works. Okay, so I believe that will end our recording session here, and I hope you liked it. And if you would like to have any specific topics that need to be explained in more details, or if you have any comments, please write to me in the comments. Okay. Okay. See you. Bye bye.